Morning, student. So in this video we will discuss the each and every organelle in a brief. Okay, whatever in your course. So the number one is cell membrane. So first discuss the cell membrane. So what is cell membrane? Now first of all, cell membrane is also known as plasma membrane. These two terms are often used, so please do not confuse. Both are same. Okay. Now it is also called a cell membrane, and it is a thin, delicate, living outermost covering of cell. Okay. So the why do we have the cell membrane? So primary function is definitely the covering or the protection. It is like the boundary of our house. So why do you give the boundary to your house? Because you want to protect your house. So in the very similar way, this is a thin covering which is living. Okay. The boundary of the cell is also living. Now how do we define that something is living and something is non-living? That the something which is living is undergo various metabolic activities like respiration. Some of activities keep on happening there, which shows that it is living. Okay. Now it provides shape to the cell also. That is the another important function of a cell membrane, that it provides shape. When we are talking about the shape of the cell, there are different cell have a different shape. Some are spherical, some are elongated, some are even change their shape. Now who decide the shape of the cell? It is decided by the cell membrane, because the way the boundary is, the way the shape of a cell is. Okay. So boundary decide the shape of the cell. It also ensure protection. It will not allow any particle to enter inside. It will selectively allow the necessary particle to get inside the cell. So we talk about that property also. Selectively permeable membrane. Permeable means something which allow substances to pass in it. Okay, that is called permeable. So if a particular wall allow a particles to pass through it, then it is called permeable. If it does not, then it is called non-permeable. Okay. Now what is the meaning of selectively permeable? That means that it is very selective. It allows particle to pass through it. It allows certain particle to pass through it, but it does not allow a certain particle to pass through it. That is why it is called selectively permeable membrane. So it is something like your security guard. So your security guard, which is present in your which is standing in your house or in your school, they might be selectively permeable, because they allow some people to enter in your house or in your school also. So that is called a selectively permeable. And what do? That is, they do diffusion. Diffusion means the gaseous change between the cell as well as the cell and its external environment also. Okay. So that means whenever gases want to exchange between the cell, so that exchanges of gases is called diffusion. Okay. They might change between the two cells or one cell to the external part, and that process is called diffusion. And the second is osmosis. First is diffusion, gas exchange between the cell, and osmosis, water exchange between the cell. Okay. Exchange of gases is called diffusion. Exchange of water between the cell is called osmosis. And oxygen is always moved from a region of higher concentration to a lower concentration. Okay. In both these processes, the movement takes place from region of higher concentration towards the region of lower concentration. Okay. So this is the basic principle of diffusion and osmosis. Now we will talk about the next important component of the cell is cell wall. As I had mentioned before, cell wall is present in only plant cell. So this is very important to remember. Animal cell do not have a cell wall. Okay. So it is a rigid covering outside the plasma membrane. So membrane is present in both of plant and animal, but cell wall is present only in plant cell. Now why do plant have a rigid covering? Because suppose plants are delicates, okay, they have a more flexibility in it. So it is very easy to tweak the plant, okay, because plants cannot protect themselves, okay. So they need more protection, and that is why there is a rigid covering outside the cell wall, okay. Now it is non-fully living and rigid and fully permeable. Fully means it doesn't see which particle is allowed to go, which particle is not allowed to go. It just passes everything to it. That is why it is called a fully permeable, okay. Cell wall is non-living, it is not living, and it is fully permeable and rigid also. It provides rigid support to the plant. That is the purpose of cell wall. So it is composed of cellulose. The cellulose is a way component, like in the case of cell membrane, it is made up of lipid and protein. So what is cellulose? Cellulose is a type of carbohydrate. It is a type of carbohydrate. Very complex structure it has. So quickly look at the function of cell wall also. So it provides strength to the plant, okay. So plants are immobile and they cannot stay in a adverse condition, okay. Like animal, they are capable of one place to another if there is any strong wind or heavy rainfall, okay. But the plant, they do not, they are not able to move from one place to another. Therefore we tend to run away, or animal tend to run away. That's how we can protect ourselves. Similarly, if the temperature is cold or hot, or it is a heavy rainfall, we can protect ourselves, but the plant cannot. Plant need support. So this cell wall provides structural strength to the plant. So the plant has additional cell wall to provide them additional strength, okay. It also prevents bursting of cell in hypotonic solution. Now just hypotonic solution, it just prevent bursting of cell in hypotonic solution. That means the concentration of water is less inside the cell. That means the concentration of water is more outside. So what will happen? The water will move from outside to inside. So the cell starts swelling up. Now as a result, what can happen is, if the cell swells too much, it can break. That because if there is no cell wall, it can break, because the cell membrane is unflexible. The plant cell, they have an additional rigid cell wall, so the cell do not burst easily, okay, even when it is present in the hypotonic solution. So what happens in this case is, as the cell swells, a pressure is exerted on the cell wall. So cell wall is rigid, so friction is exerted by the cell wall, and cell wall is delicate, so the cell wall exert a pressure. So it will exert a pressure. Therefore the plant cell an equal and opposite pressure, and therefore plant cell withstand better changes in the surrounding than the animal cell. And that is how the even though cannot they move, but they may be really be able to manage with the surrounding, okay. So we are now going to talk about a very important component, that is nucleus. So what is nucleus? Now if you look at the cell, you will always be able to know a structure which is somewhat spherical and somewhat located toward the center of the cell, and that is nothing but a nucleus. And so this is a nucleus. and it is present in animal as well as the plant cell both. Okay. Now it is not always present in the center, especially in the case of plant cell. There is a big vacuole present inside the cell, and which is specific to plant cell. It has a major role to play in the plant cell. Therefore, they are quite big in plant cell, and due to this large size of the vacuole, it often pushes the nucleus toward the side. Okay. So in the plant cell, you often might see that the nucleus is present at the side of the, not in the center, but otherwise it is located in the center. Okay. Now if we talk about the shape of the nucleus, it is spherical. Mostly it is spherical or oval. Sometimes it can be of different shape also. For example, in some organism like paramecium, it is a protozoa and unicellular organism. So in the paramecium, the shape of nucleus is bean shape. Okay. So for some cell, they can be of different shape as well. Okay. So it is present in both plant and animal cell. Nucleus is present in both plant and nucleus is something which is very significant to both plant and animal. So we will talk about the nucleus. Without nucleus, the cell cannot exist. Okay. They all have nucleus. All the cells have nucleus. So nucleus first prescribed by the scientist called Robert Brown. And Robert Brown were able to describe the nucleus in 1831. It is quite a long time after the cell was discovered. The cell was discovered in 1665. So you see there is a long time. The discovery of cell and the discovery of nucleus. But once the nucleus was discovered, it was observed that inside the nucleus there are so many important components which are present. So let us talk about some more detail about the nucleus. So talking about the significance of nucleus, why do we say that nucleus is most important part? That is because it controls center of the cell. It is a control center. What do you mean by control center? So it is called control center because it participates in some of the very important activities of the cell. That is, it helps in movement, it helps in reproduction. Now we have learned that cell always arises from the pre-existing cell. Now how cell arrive from the pre-existing cell? When the pre-existing cell divide. So cell division, a new cell diffuse to produce a new cell is being produced by the pre-existing cell. So in this, the nucleus plays a major role. Okay, in cell division or reproduction, it plays a major role, and it also plays a major role in movement also. Now just imagine these are the two very important roles as far as the cell's life is concerned. So since nucleus controls all the vital activities, therefore it is called a control center of the cell. Now that we are talking about the nucleus, and we are also gonna talk about the various components present inside the nucleus. So it is very important to specify the two type of cell which are classified based on the type of nucleus they have. So these are two types of cells are eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells. Eukaryotic and prokaryotic. The word you means true and karyotic means nucleus. So those cells which have a true nucleus, they are called eukaryotic, and whereas those cells which do not have true nucleus, they are called prokaryotic. They have well-defined nucleus. They do not have a well-defined nucleus. Okay. So those cells which have a very well defined nucleus, they are called eukaryotic cell, and those we do not have a well defined nucleus, they are called prokaryotic cell. They have distinct nucleus or a true nucleus. That is why it is named eukaryotic. Okay. And no distinct nucleus. Here it is no distinct nucleus. cell organelles are present in it, and many cell organelles are absent in prokaryotic cell. Okay, so these are the difference between eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell. And one of the most important, that this region bounded by the nuclear membrane called DNA and protein. So DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. You will learn about it in your higher classes, a lot of detail about the DNA. So DNA is that particular thing that which contains the information inheritance. Okay, like you would have observed that we are very similar to our parents, because some of the traits which carried over from our parents to our generation. Okay, so similarly our kids might have this similarity with us. That is because some traits are carrying from our generation to the next generation. So this concept of passing of trait from one generation to next generation is called heredity, and this type of inheritance is called DNA. So DNA is present inside the nucleus. That is why the nucleus play a very important role during cell division. Whereas in case of prokaryotics, there is no specific region which contain DNA or protein. It is undefined region with nucleic acid and is termed as nucleole. Okay, undefined. Examples are most of the plant cell, they are, and animal cell, they have a distinct. Okay, and the example of prokaryotic cell is bacteria and blue green algae cells. So it is very important to talk about the gene. Sometime you would have seen the people say that you are so lazy, it is in your gene, that everybody in your family is lazy. So what they are trying to say is that there are certain traits which are present in the gene and they get carried away from one generation to next generation. So how they carry it from one generation to next generation? Through DNA. Okay, so this DNA deoxyribonucleic acid. Okay, they carried over from one generation to next generation. So genes are the unit of inheritance. So if you look at the structure of chromosome, so the chromosome, you can see that there are, so on a chromosome you can see that there are genes which are located on chromosome. So you might have a gene for a particular eye color. So every trait you have a gene for every trait. So because of these genes, you can actually present the some trait from, or can transfer the trait from one generation to another. So genes are actually the unit of inheritance. They control the traits of living organism. They decide which trait is similar and which trait will be different. Okay, that's how the traits of transfer from in the living organism. Okay, so where are these genes located? Inside our body there are so many cells, and if you concentrate on one particular cell, they would be like this, and inside the cell nucleus, this is nucleus. Now if you look at the nucleus, if you try to magnify the nucleus, so inside the nucleus there is a nucleolus. So this is that region. And these thread-like structure is here is a thread-like structure that is called chromatin. And cell division will contends to form chromosome, which is a rod-shaped structure, and these chromosomes have genes of different traits. And each gene is from a specific trait which you see. Now what are these genes? These genes are nothing but DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA. That is the full form of DNA. And now I will not going into detail about this because it is too much. So why I'm just touching a point that I want to give you some idea about DNA or chromosome and gene. Okay, you will learn about this in your higher classes, about each of these in more detail. Okay, so this is all. So thank you, class.